A major defense summit in Asia called the Shangri-La Dialogue that began Saturday has already led to some positive partnerships, as well as the U.S. and China trading barbs.
Joining us from Singapore, where she's helping lead the U.S. delegation at the defense summit there, is Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence. Director Gabbard, thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you. Great to join you here today from the other side of the planet.
Yeah, literally the other side of the world. So first, there were immediately some major headlines coming out of the Shangri-La Dialogue. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave a speech Saturday and delivered some rather ominous warnings about the threat of China.
Any attempt by Communist China to conquer Taiwan by force would result in devastating consequences for the Indo-Pacific and the world. There's no reason to sugarcoat it.
So is China about to take military action?
I think it's important to take a step back and look at the full context of Pete Hegseth's comments there. The indications show us that the answer to your question is no. And really the overwhelming message that Pete delivered is the message that we hear from President Trump, which is that he is the president of peace. And the goal here within this region, as well as in others around the world, is to be able to achieve that. And that's really why these kinds of conferences, this one in particular, are so important, because it provides the opportunity for leaders to come together and engage in dialogue, engage in diplomacy. Once again, with that goal of how do we find areas where we can best pursue our goal of peace and stability that best serve our respective peoples in our countries and around the world.
Now, this is a significant summit, hundreds of delegates representing dozens of nations, as you've said. How much has China been the focus of this summit so far?
Obviously, it's a topic of conversation, but I won't say it has not been the sole focus. Counterterrorism has been a really common topic that has come up from countries from across the region. The issue of transnational criminal organizations has been a predominant concern as well. And there's been a lot of questions coming from other countries about some of the actions that we are taking under President Trump's leadership, not only to secure our own borders, but to deal with the cartels who are trafficking in fentanyl and other narcotics that are dealing in human trafficking and sex trafficking. These are very common issues that we're seeing both across this region, but as well as from some of the other countries who are here from part of the Middle East and in Europe as well.
Now, you mentioned fentanyl trafficking there. It's a massive focus here in the U.S., of course. How much of a focus has there been on fentanyl in the summit?
Fentanyl has been a topic, but it's not just fentanyl. We've heard from some other countries that the drug of choice that's being trafficked is meth, for example. So it's interesting, again, and a great opportunity for us to understand how these different drugs or these different illegal trafficking of weapons, of course, sex trafficking and human trafficking, how ultimately the driver of these illegal activities that are harming the American people in our country and the people in these other countries. And especially when we look at the Biden administration's last 4 years of essentially open borders, how that really rolled out the red carpet for these cartels to be able to not only come in and out of our country and conduct their illegal activities, but unfortunately what we are seeing more and more is how deeply entrenched they already are in our communities, and not just those that sit along our southern border, but throughout states across our country. So this is obviously an area where in my organization, as the Director of National Intelligence, we're working closely with the Attorney General, with the FBI, with the Department of Homeland Security across the board towards getting after these threats that already exist within our country. And of course, making sure that we are securing our border and which it is more secure now than it has been in a very, very long time.
Yeah, indeed. Record lows for crossings on the border now. Well, I know you're a very busy woman. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you. Great to talk to you.